And then the cello finally comes in, and it has this line that's... And it just commands the attention of the audience.
Ciao di nuovo, Pomona. Sono arrivato a Firenze.
You don't need to study what you're going to go do. And for me, at least, learning how to engage intellectually is just a precursor to engaging with the world.
For me, daring, I think, is definitely pursuing Japanese and pursuing medicine at the same time. I can do both of those things, and that's what I really love about Pomona.
Good morning. I'm here in Petra, in the south of Jordan.
The moments in which I've risked the most are also the moments in which I've learned the most.
We are challenging our students, we are daring them to think even bigger, think even more broadly about their education, about what they're going to accomplish.
I never considered ballroom dancing to be a traditional activity.
It's about drive, pushing yourself, doing what I didn't think I could do.
There's something as innate as the ability to throw a good curveball in me that just wants to ask and wants to find out what makes people tick.
You essentially need to develop a new framework because I think the second generation argument is weak.
I oftentimes bring students to Vietnam where I do my research, and I invited Chris.
So I sort of went back to my room, thought about it, did some research. 20 minutes later, I was like, what am I thinking? I gotta take this chance.
Well, you need more independent variables.
Studying sociology at Pomona had a huge impact on the way that I looked at social relations and the race relations that were going on in Saigon when I was there.
Ooh, Professor Hung Tai calling me from the States.
Professor Tai has really defined my experience at Pomona in a lot of ways.
In many ways, I see Chris as a junior colleague rather than as a student.
Professor Tai was diligent and helpful, and now I'm about to fly to Oman.
He said, Abu Ahmed said, you are one of our tribe.
All of these moments sort of compile together to create an atmosphere that encourages and engenders daring. Pomona is not a comfortable place in that sense, and I don't think it should be.
I first got interested in neuroscience in middle school. I began having trouble with my eyes. And I remember the first time that I saw my MRI on the light board put up there by the doctor, I thought, you know, that bizarre mass of cells controls the way I talk, the way I act, the way I think, and even the way I perceive the entire universe.
It's stained with an antibody that recognizes a protein.
The genes that we study in the flies have analogous genes in humans. To me, it's like science. I analyze all the chord structures.
You didn't rush through that. You kind of let every note register. So, bum, 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 bum.
That's just as interesting to me as breaking down parts of the brain. Which mutation in that region is causing the problem, right?
And how are we going to track that down? She's really been asking questions that we don't have answers to yet.
My great uncle was afflicted with Alzheimer's. My father's cousin is afflicted with multiple sclerosis. It seems so unjust and so unfair. No hope means despair, and if you're despairing, there'd be no point in playing music or with science. You can't work towards something if you don't think you're going to find it. You have to always believe that you're going to get there.
That is what this place should really be about. There's singers in my gender and household economics class. There are dancers in neuroscience. That is what really excites me about Pomona.
From students, faculty, the whole community. There's a real eagerness to create an education that is different.
I knew that I wanted to go somewhere that would really prepare me for medical school. I also vaguely knew in high school that I might want to start studying Japanese as well. What I wasn't prepared for was coming in here and falling in love with Japanese. それは Mount Sinai Med School のプログラムです。
If you want to do something really different.
I found out about the program through Professor Yamashita, a history professor of mine last year.
You're granted admission to their medical school as a sophomore in college, but they want you to major in something other than medicine.
And this is the Taibutsu. Once I become a doctor, I'm not going to just deal with people that are like me. Studying Japanese, I've been able to learn and begin to relate to a culture that is significantly outside of my own. All we are asked to do in this place is just to learn. If all you're asked to do is learn, don't learn for something. Just learn because you want to learn and learn because it's interesting.
Daring minds to me really means being able to take your intellectual experiences and have the courage and the gumption, I guess, to apply those to the real world.
At one point early on in his intro, he says, history is at a crossroads. My thesis, it's an exploration of Francesco Guicciardini and his notion or philosophy of history.
And so I just thought it would be neat to kind of start with this building. I'm hoping to maybe get in there before the time and look through the family library, which contains some original manuscripts.
So you would think that I would be able to get in there pretty soon, right? It was very mistaken.
For the past 2 months, I've been jumping through various bureaucratic hoops trying to get admitted to these archives.
Hello, the Guicciardini saga continues.
Hi again, Pomona. I just got off the phone with the guy, and I have good news and bad news.
I like this sort of mind that's doing this. But from what I learned from Charlie, just that patience really pays off.
Hello, everyone at Pomona. I'm now in the archive. This is actually the title page in Guicciardini's own hand.
I came here thinking that, I wanted to go off to grad school and be a history professor. And then sometime around my sophomore year, I also at the same time decided that isn't really what I want to do with my life. I did an internship with the Claremont Unified School District.
It became very clear that he wanted to do something for other people.
The issue I'm most concerned about is combating poverty in this country, specifically with how education can be a means to prevent generational poverty.
I hope you enjoyed getting to see some of my experiences with me here in Italy. And again, thanks very much for the opportunity.
He is now a liberally educated man.
I don't think I would have been able to do it without you guys over at Pomona.
He is the best of the liberal arts in my book.
Ci vediamo presto. Arrivederci dall'Italia. Ciao.
I like that there's still a huge amount of challenges that are left to overcome. And that's what I want to do.
So there's this body of research that
it becomes really possible to find whatever answers you're looking for if you're willing to search for them in Pomona.
The flow of ideas stops.
he will be a beloved professor, just like many Pomona faculty members.
Charles Dominique Marconi Buffalino.
So, what do I think of Charlie? He's somebody I would really feel glad trusting the world with.
I admire her greatly. I could hardly wait to see what she does with the rest of her life.
I want to make the world the way that Pomona sees us. I want to be as good as Pomona sees that we are.